There's a list that Rome didn't want published. 4 names, 4 priests, and on the very day that list becomes public, Cardinal Gerhard Müller publishes a full frontal attack on cath.net, as if trying to stop something that can no longer be stopped. It's not a coincidence. Coincidence doesn't exist in this kind of story. What we're seeing is the endpoint of a timeline that's lasted months, and which Müller, Rome, and half the Curia have tried in every way to interrupt. By the end of this video, you'll understand why that list of 4 names is the moment of no return, and why the German cardinal's immediate response is the most eloquent confirmation that someone in Rome today is afraid. Let's reconstruct the sequence. On February 2, 2026, Father Davide Pagliarani, Superior General of the Priestly Fraternity of St. Pius X, officially announced that the fraternity would proceed with episcopal consecrations. Rome's reaction came almost immediately. On February 22nd, Cardinal Gerhard Müller published his first statement on cath.net. No bishop, he writes, can consecrate against the successor of Peter, and a well-formed Catholic conscience will never allow it. But the Society takes nothing back. The following months were a long-distance diplomatic game. The Vatican proposed resuming dialogue. The Society responded that the necessary conditions were not in place. And on May 26, 2026, after months of operational silence, what everyone was waiting for arrived: the 4 names. His statement is dry, precise, without any diplomatic concessions. The first name is Father Pascal Schreiber, Swiss, 53 years old, rector of the Herz Jesu Seminary in Zeitskofen, Germany, since August 15, 2020. Under his guidance, the seminary now trains more than 50 future priests and brothers from 16 countries around the world. He is the man who holds the formation of the fraternity's future clergy in Europe in his hands. The second name is Father Michael Goldade, an American, 45 years old, born in North Dakota to a family of 10 children, 3 of whom are sisters of the Fraternity of St. Pius VI. The third name is Father Michel Poinsinet de Sivry, French, 42 years old, Superior of the Benelux District, Belgium, Holland, and Luxembourg, since August 15, 2022. The fourth name is Father Marc Hanappier, French, 36 years old, born in 1990 into a family of 10 children with multiple religious vocations. He taught metaphysics and dogmatics for years at the seminary in Dillwyn, Virginia. 4 priests, 4 vocations nurtured within the fraternity, far from any compromise with liturgical reform. The fact that Pagliarani chooses seminary rectors and the superior of a European district and not simply parish priests says everything about the strategy. These bishops will not be ceremonial figures, but intellectual and pastoral leaders of a global structure. This point changes everything else. The 4 priests chosen by Pagliarani are on average 44 years old. They are the men who train the priests of tomorrow, who lead entire districts, who teach doctrine to seminarians on 3 continents. Choosing them as bishops is not a defensive act. It is a deliberate act of building the future. And then, that same day, Müller responded. Not the next day, not the following week. On the same May 26th, while the faithful of the Society celebrated the news of the 4 names, the German cardinal published a new statement on cath.net. This time, more forthright and more forceful in its theological substance. The central argument is this: the Society cannot conceive of itself as the holy remnant of the Catholic Church, as the only faithful portion in an ocean of apostasy. Müller writes that it cannot be the case that 2,000 bishops were wrong on dogmatic questions, with the exception of a single bishop, a direct reference to Archbishop Marcel Lefebvre and his theological legacy. And he adds a sentence that sounds like a condemnation. No one has the right to the episcopate. Consecration without a pontifical mandate is, for Müller, a wound to the visibility of the Church's unity. The real story begins here, because Müller's argument is accurate, but it deliberately ignores a question that traditionalists have been asking for decades. What happens when the 2,000 bishops stop teaching what the Church has always taught? The society does not present itself as an alternative to the Church. It presents itself as the faithful guardian of what the Church herself has transmitted for centuries. The difference between 1988 and 2026 is this. In 1988, there was only one bishop to perform that act, in a fraternity that numbered several thousand faithful scattered throughout the world. Today, there are 4 bishops already in office who are consecrating 4 others in a structure that manages hundreds of parishes, schools, and seminaries on 6 continents. That act of Lefebvre, which seemed like madness, became the root of a tree that never stops growing. This is the crux of the matter. Rome has 2 options: attempt to halt the consecrations with disciplinary measures, excommunications, declarations, canonical documents, knowing that it will be of no use, just as it was of no use in 1988, when Lefebvre's excommunication did not prevent the society from surviving and growing. Or sit down at the table with a fraternity that never gives in on doctrinal substance. And the fact that Müller responds on the same day about the names suggests that in Rome, they already know which option has already been discarded. And the question every Catholic is asking right now is, will Leo XIV do what none of his predecessors did? Recognize that the traditional Mass is not a problem to be managed, but a treasure to be safeguarded? Or will it follow the institutional logic that led Bergoglio to suppress Summorum Pontificum? The 4 names on May 26th are also an implicit answer to this question. The society does not wait for Rome to build the future. Let's close the circle. These aren't just 4 priests. They're 4 new episcopal lines, 4 clergy training centers, 4 pillars of a global structure that survives and grows independently of the permission of any curia. Tradition does not ask for permission. Lefebvre demonstrated this in 1988, and Pagliarani demonstrated it in 2026 with the same clarity and the same firmness. While Rome responds with press releases, the fraternity responds with precise names, dates, and places. If you want to support the channel and help me create new content, you can leave a super thank you. Thank you so much for your support. What do you think? If you liked the video, comment Amen. God bless you.